appeal to power and say most high-end academics in this field or whatever consider to be a hypothetical, a hypothesis. It's the abiogenesis hypothesis.
Real quick,
Reading,
can we get a
reading.
definition for life?
Yeah. That which is capable of cell multiplication, growth, and adaptation.
You're,
Uh,
you're just talking about like the first operational cell, right?
well, that is an operational cell. Yeah, we'll even say E. coli cell. You know what I mean? Something really simple. You know what I mean? Even a most basic cell, it just doesn't. That life doesn't come. You can create certain amino acids. You can get acids, but if you would have to consider those acids to be life, like in the Miller experiment, but
No,
it's
well,
very hazy on that.
wait. We don't have to hold that amino acids are life. The purpose of the research that we're both talking about isn't that we have replicated this process. It's we are understanding building blocks of it and steps of the process. And some of those we have replicated. So that is not a like QED proof to say this is how it happened and we can reproduce it. What it is that it's evidence that says we could be onto something here and we're closer than I think you think we are.
Yeah.
I would agree with you. Actually, I just believe it's still until it comes out of the hypothetical stage. I don't I don't have a reason to abandon life from life.
Well, I do also want to point out that like the Miller and all the revisits of the Miller and whatnot, they were all successful, right?
Yes.
Because they weren't ever trying to prove life coming from not one life. All they were trying to show was that inorganic inorganic chemistry can give rise to organic chemistry, and they proved that that is something that is viable.
No building blocks to it. Not
No,
we've never produced.
not no.
But
You're thinking of
that's
the
not the
building blocks of
goalpost.
life. You're thinking of the
Reproducing life
building
is not
blocks
the
of life.
goalpost.
Yeah, we're
Right.
talking about just strictly that inorganic chemistry can give rise to organic chemistry.
In the
And
hypothetical stage, yes.
well, it's not even hypothetical. At this point, it is like the experiments has shown that inorganic chemistry gave rise to organic chemistry because amino acids are organic chemistry. They're not life. You are
Right.
correct. But it shows that inorganic chemistry can give rise under primordial earth conditions
Hmm.
to organic chemistry. I
I
just wanted
agree.
to point that out.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. The hypothesis that I speak of is life from non-life. It's, you know what I mean? If that was to move into theory,
Chris,
then
can you get the blackboard back up? Is that possible?
if that was to be shown to be move into theory, then my argument would fail at this point. My syllogism would fail, and I would have to revamp
So
or
there are
understand what's going on.
there are different thresholds to what's going to make P1 true or not, right?
Right.
If your standard is that life has to be reproduced, um, okay, so we're not if we may not reach that threshold, but what we will reach is a threshold that is high enough to give rise to the doubt that you could only conclude that life comes from life.
Well, I mean that's science. If I just say it like this, if we go back whether it has been tested, observed, and reproduced on that standard, the only thing that life has come from is life.
But the part that you haven't integrated here is that there is evidence to show that life can come from non-life, that organic chemistry can come from inorganic, and then there are still more steps and building blocks to uncover if we're going to be able to reproduce it. But that's evidence sufficient to say that life from life is not the only possible conclusion.
Well, no, it's not well, like I said, and I agree with you. It's not the only possible conclusion. I believe it's the most probable
Okay, so
conclusion because we're talking
that's an
rational
important
inference.
distinction, right?
Yeah,
To say that it's
absolutely.
even if it's the most probable, then we don't have to accept the whole argument.
No, no, it's I said from the beginning it was going to be based upon the law of rational inference. That is going to be the most rational conclusion that life comes from life, that this whole series is the
Well,
intelligence from
what
intelligence.
you're doing is you're trying to say before the argument, you're trying to say this argument is rational, and then giving the argument. Like
It's
we can't
yeah.
grant that this is like we can't say like you're shooting the arrow and then drawing the target, right? Like
Well, I said it was going to be the most conclusive argument. In other words, it's matter of fact, if you look up Howard Marwitz, I mean his definition of the odds as a statistician to prove the statistics of
well,
it were out overwhelming.
look at it this way. So what I've presented is, I believe, sufficient rational thinking, rational evidence to
Hmm.
conclude that P1 can't be uh, can't be true. We agreed on that. You shifted it to probably. Okay. Um,
No, no, no. I did not shift it
but
to probability. From the beginning, I've been on 100%. I've been on. I said this would be based upon the law of rational inference, most rational
right,
conclusion.
right. So what we disagree on is the strength of the scientific evidence that Hemi and I have been talking about.
Hmm.
So if you want to say like your position is 51% more, likely or probable, then what you're doing is you're saying your argument is true before, like, what you're saying, it's a priori true. It's that, and there's no evidence for that.
No, 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 no. I think we might have misunderstood me here on this one. Um, I think anything past 1 in 10 to the 50th power is like considered like really, really not going to happen. And when you look at the statisticians, have they've raised this out, it's astronomically 3 and 4 times well over that. Like it's not like 51%. It's like I think it's more like 99%, or I'll even give you 90%. I believe to life from life only, and intelligence from intelligence. It's never been observed life from non-life. It's never been observed intelligence from non-intelligence. It's just never happened.
You know what? I
Mm.
really dislike the misuse of statistics. I really do.
Well, I didn't misuse them. I just used Harl Marwitz, and I said, look at him. What they say, what those chances are. That's it.
You just made up 99%.
So, so the thing
I
is
me.
like, do you do you know what the statistical probability of life is?
Yeah, it's pretty small.
No,
By random chance, or are you talking about life now and
just the
as it is?
statistic probability that life could occur.
Occur by means of chance?
Sure, why not?
I've read multiple, and they all vary, but they're all well above 1 in 10 to the 50th power. Well
Yeah, the
above.
problem is it's actually just one.
Well, when you say one, that 1 in 10,
Yeah.
when you talk about that one,
No.
that's a misrepresentation
So
of that.
so
That's
no, because the thing is like whenever it comes to probabilities and statistics, what you're doing it on the model that you're comparing it to, and you're comparing it to a sample size, right? So it's the one, like whenever like they say the odds are 1 in 300. That one is that the time that you're doing it, and then that 300 is the sample size of how many times that this has occurred, right? So when we're doing probabilities of life, the probability will always be 1 to 1 because we are using the sample size of the only sample that we have, which is the one life that we have right now, and we are comparing it to life occurring. So that sample size will always be 1 to 1.
all right. Now hold on a second here. You're saying that because it's a 1 in 10 to the 127,000th power of happening, that 1% chance is what you're saying is
Has
the
it
one.
occurred?
as it occurred.
Ha-
That's what that you're going with, right? You're saying that the frequency of that you're talking about. We're talking about probability. We're talking about odds of something happening.
Our data
Just like
set is one of one.
Yeah, the
okay, it's
probability is one of the odds of it happening are one because it
okay.
happened.
So
It
okay,
happened.
okay. Listen. So, but you're saying that's what I'm saying. You're saying one of one. I'm not saying this. You're saying it happened by chance, right?
I'm
Abiogenesis, correct?
saying no. I'm not saying abiogenesis. I'm not even talking about abiogenesis. I'm just talking about life occurring.
No,
We're
no.
talking about if
That's
you want to
exactly what this
call
is
it
about.
by random, if you want to calling it by chance, by whatever, it doesn't matter the label you want to put on it. Even if you want to put it, God in there, this sample, it's always going to be 1 to 1 because you are comparing the time that you are comparing it to, which is, like I said, in the scenario of like the lottery where someone says you have 1 in a million chance of getting it. The one is you doing it right then and there. So for the life, it's that first one. Like whenever you're looking at probabilities and statistics, you'll see the 1:, and then whatever number. It'd be the million for the lotto, right? So that one of us living is right there before the colon. And then after the colon, it's the sample size of how many times it has happened before. So that one is going to also be a one because of the fact that the sample size we're working with is the only sample size we have, which is life.
Okay, we are indeed talking about abiogenesis, so that's probably why I'm confused. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but the thing is we're bringing up probabilities and we're bringing up statistics, and
Yes.
these sample sizes, it's all about life occurring. Life it has occurred. It's the
No,
only
no,
sample size. This is
no,
the
no.
only sample size we have.
It's not the probability that it's the probability of it occurring.
Yes, the probability of it occurring is one because of the fact that life is here.
Okay,
That's all I'm saying. The one after the colon is the sample size that you can draw from of how many times it has occurred.
okay. So are you just out of curiosity?
Hmm.
I do you believe that the stat I could name off a plethora of them, but do you believe statisticians are wrong?
It depends on what they're talking about.
Abiogenesis. Do you believe they're wrong?
The thing is I've talked to statisticians, and they
Okay.
say the same thing I'm saying.
Okay. What I'm
Is that
asking you, do
it's
you think
one to
they're
one?
wrong?
Do I think they're wrong?
Is Howard Malwitz wrong?
I don't know who Howard Malwartz is.
Are you
Okay.
just trying to appeal to academic or something? Like, where is this how you
It's
want to
it's
spend your time?
basically he's trying to sit there and say that I agree with the ones that I agree with, and I disagree with the ones that disagree with my conclusion.
Yeah,
Um,
there's rarely a reason to appeal to academics because you'll find
yeah,
Well, I'll agree with that. Listen, I'm not trying
whatever
to
you
do the
want.
appeal to power neither, by the way, because that I believe that's a slippery slope there, even for my argument. So that's not what I'm trying to do. But I would say at the very least, even if we go by the evidence and we don't agree on statistics and what they say and all that stuff, I can at least agree in the very least. I would like to say if someone could show me that life has come from non-life and it's been observed, I would be willing to accept that.
Okay, so can I jump in real quick, guys?
Yes.
So now I'm going to kind of frame this in the sense of kind of an analogy, like a parallel example. Now, back when they were discovering flight, like pre-Wright brothers and all that stuff. Um, Now, would you agree that they had like all the pieces together for flight, but they just couldn't make it happen until the Wright brothers were able to do it?
Oh, actually, I agree. Yeah, this is actually a good argument on your half. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. In
okay.
other
So you've
words,
kind
to
of
be
heard this
announced. Yeah.
argument before, yeah. So,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
okay,
I get it. I get it.
okay.
It
So
makes reasonable sense. That'd be logical what you're saying.
yeah. So so they spent many years trying to achieve flight. They knew how to do it. They knew the mechanism behind it. They knew the physics. They just had to put the pieces together. They just had to do it in the right combination, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
so this is kind of where we're at with abiogenesis. the researchers know all the pieces that are in place. They just have to put it all in the correct, they just have to do it in the right mix. I guess that's the best way to put it. The right sequence, the right mix. I think they even know the sequence. They just have to they just have to push the buttons in the right way. Like a little bit more of this, a little bit less of that, and
we're making Lego and we're writing the instructions as we go.
Yeah, exactly. We're creating and we're discovering and writing the instructions as we go. Yeah, that's like a good way.
By the way, I want to apologize for this. I have to go real quick.
Oh, no problem.
My girl's here, and I've been ignoring her. I'm sorry.
No. Happy wife, happy life, man. So absolutely.
Even if your argument was true, it leads to an infinite regress of intelligent beings. Have a good night. Bye.
All right.
Hey, look, that was a good one. I like that one. Y'all take it easy, okay?
Okay. Thanks for the talk. Appreciate you.
I follow.
All right. Yeah. Sorry we cut you off early, but sorry we cut you off. But yeah, come on back and we can kind of pick it up.
I also kind of felt like the second premise was kind of a tautology.
Yeah, I felt that too. I didn't pay that much attention, but yeah, intelligence only from intelligence. It is tautological and all that stuff, but we don't have evidence of that either. Yeah, we have evidence otherwise. We have evidence to the contrary of that. So, but I was waiting to jump in after we had resolved this whole, what you guys were talking about, but we didn't even get that far. So this didn't really get that far off the ground. But I see what he's saying. I mean, I would say P1, honestly, I would agree with that only because I was just going to show him this paper, but I'll show you all. And this makes these make some pretty big assumptions. And that's kind of why I brought up flight, is because if you look at this paper, this is what Juan Mercader's team has been working on since 2017, polymer induced self-actualization. So what they figured out is there are certain components, like organic components, that come into place and that create the functional structures, like vesicular structures and things like that, of cells. And as of 2025, this was last March of 2025, I can find the article if anyone's interested. They have found protocells. They've been be able to create protocells, which are precursors to cells, right? And these protocells have multiplied. So they are so close to, a lot closer than we think they are. Now, it could be years, but I mean, they are right there, because I think protocells, if my understanding is correct, is the one step before an actual cell, where it actually becomes life. So we are there. They are right there. They're right on the doorstep. So that's why I brought in the analogy of the Wright brothers in flight, because they had all the pieces in place. It was just a matter of getting that thing off the ground for an appreciable amount of time. And that's kind of where they are. So if anybody's interested, just look up PISA and the researcher's name. The head of it is Juan Perez Mercader. So that's who you want to look up, and you'll see entire body of work since 2017. And I've put the links, not the links, but I put the studies, the names of the studies and the years as a list in my Discord. So, and it's pinned to the Science Debate channel. So if anyone wants to go check it out, you can, and you can read up all about it. But they are right there. So, so I think this is the strongest argument. It's I think you can concede, they haven't done the non-life to life thing yet. But see, if that is your only measure of success, is that they create life, then you're not going to see anything else as a success, because that's too black and white. It's way too black and white. There's way too many steps involved. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's also the issue with P1, it needs to be a conditional, right?
Yeah,
if we
true.
Conclude. And the thing is, we don't have to conclude.
Yeah, we don't have to conclude. So he had a built-in conclusion on his premise. Yeah, exactly. So,
when I say that, he said that life only comes from life, and he defined life as basically self-replicating cells and all that stuff, which leads to me to believe that God has self-replicating cells. And that's
interesting. If God is alive.
Interesting. If God is alive, that means God has self-replicating cells.
Because he's saying that life only comes from life. So if that's the case in his worldview, God is living, which means he has self-replicating cells.
Yeah. He has self-replicating cells, which means that we can find these self-replicating cells somewhere, right?
I'll get the pitchforks.
Yeah, exactly. And get the Q-tips and everything.
He had a job.
All right. So we have somebody from the YouTube queue, despite... Oh, he dropped again. God dang it. He dropped again. I was just about to bring him up, and he's gone. Okay. Well, maybe he'll come back. But it's like the second time he's dropped right when I was about to bring him up. He, like, left. But, okay, it is what it is. All right. We'll bring up the next guest. We have one in the TikTok queue. And, guys, thanks for sticking with me through these tech issues. All right.
But real quick, can we see if we can hear Dark Knight? Because beforehand we couldn't.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The Dark Knight's going out? Jeez. Just the issues. Well, it looks like okay. Can't hear you if you're saying something. I think Dark Knight's going to leave and come back. All right, let's see. All right.
Okay.
There we go.
Hello.
I hear you now.
I apologize. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. All right.
I just wanted to say about the previous guest, I'm glad that he came to test his argument against us instead of ChatGPT. But go ahead, sorry.
Facts. 100% facts.
The thing is, I can imagine Dark Knight's over here like talking, and he's like, "Why is nobody responding to my points? What's happening
Yeah,
here?"
exactly. And damn, Trust just cut me off for the third time. What the hell? So, all right. Well, glad you're back with us.
I'm cooking.
Yeah, right. Glad you're back with us. All right. Hey, user 222597, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about
All
you?
right. I'm doing well, thanks. Thanks for waiting, and thanks for your patience with kind of working out our issues here. Just for TikTok purposes, how old are you?
I am 81 years old.
81. Yeah, you sound great for 81. All right.
Almost 82.
Okay. Fantastic. Wow. Okay. And are you a Christian, and do you believe that the Bible is 100% true?
I am a born-again skeptic, and I do not believe the Bible as written or as interpreted
Okay.
is true.
Okay. What do you have to say then? Yeah.
Well, it's I've been listening to this for about half an hour,
Mhm.
and the person that you had on about half an hour ago, and you gave an analogy, and I thought I had a similar analogy that if you are in the forest and a tree falls, and there's no one there, does it make a sound?
That's a great one.
Or conversely, can you hear it? So
Yeah.
I think that was close to what you were saying, and I obviously didn't get a chance to offer it. So
Okay. Yeah, that's a good analogy. It's the forest and it's the tree falling in the forest analogy. It's the same thing. Yeah, absolutely. Did it
Right.
actually fall? Yeah. And so that's absolutely true. He probably would have said something to the effect of, well, not if it doesn't, not if there are no minds around, or something silly like that. Yeah. But you're absolutely right. That's actually a really, really good, good analogy. I agree.
and the issue of interpreting what is involved in thought, and is there a mind, or is there simply a brain, is an interesting, and I think you didn't get there, but that's all right. I kept on switching gears and waiting for it to come around again. But to answer your question, I am a born again skeptic. I do not.
Sorry to interrupt. I just gotta read the super chat. So Rainbow Ash sent a $2 super chat. Thank you, Rainbow Ash. Happy spouse, happy house, gender neutral. Thank you. You are absolutely right. I should say it like that. Happy spouse, happy house. You're absolutely right.
I get your timer too.
I've heard that before.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll do the timer too. See, this is an example of people carrying me. This is much like how I am when I'm gaming with my kids. They're just carrying me. You know, like if we're
Can
playing,
I add something pedantic, and that's maybe a little bit of a buzzkill?
what's that?
Is that assuming happy spouses in one spouse also normalizes the nuclear family, and that's a colonial idea and part of capitalism. Sorry, I'm
That's
that
okay.
person.
You know what? We should talk about this in Discord later, just to kind of firm up the the idea of it and come up with like something new that's a nice rhyme. I don't know how we're going to do that, but yeah, yeah, exactly. We'll crowdsource it. Let's do that. Because I'm happy to come up with something totally new that's like all inclusive. Okay, sorry about that, guest. Please continue on. You're a born again skeptic.
Yes. So to reply to your original, to the original idea of the chat, I'm an atheist, all right? I'm not an atheist, I'm a born again skeptic. But what is your best evidence the Bible is 100% true? I find nothing in the evidence that shows that the Bible is true at all. Now, there might be something out there. And as a born again skeptic, I do believe in investigation. I do not believe in faith. So the discourse there is, I believe in investigating everything. And in particular, the idea that there is a God or there is no God. Is there a heaven? Is there a hell? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I have found no reason to believe in any of that. And that began at a very young age, probably 11 or 12.
Oh, wow.
And I was born up in a Christian society, Presbyterian, which is supposed to mean predestination, but I was brought up because my parents were, and they said that we're going to go to church, et cetera, et cetera. But as I believed in that, I started to ask questions. And 11 and 12-year-olds, if you can remember back that far, is a period of question mongering, and that's exactly what I did.
But then I would also. It's a bit of a tension because it's probably safe to say at that time of our existence, that time of life, questions were strongly discouraged, right? Children are seen and not heard, that kind of thing. So I imagine that drew up some tension when you were at that age.
Correct.
Yeah.
But my parents were advanced enough, if you want to say it that way, that they understood, because my father, I guess, had gone through that many years before that. My mother believed she was a Christian, and she lived her life as a Christian, and she died as a Christian. My father broke away from the church. So I had two parents that were going in divergent directions. I think that at 11 or 12, I started to ask questions, and I wasn't getting answers.
Yeah.
And I think that was a problem for me, because I was being told, well, go ask, go talk to your reverend, go talk to your pastor. And I would do that because I wanted to get answers. But I was getting the same answers, which meant absolutely nothing to me at that age.
Right.
And when I got into college, I had a psychology course, and the psychology professor, I was in education curriculum, I was going to be a teacher, and I started asking those same questions. And he said, well, go see your pastor. And I said, this is a circular firing squad. I'm getting nowhere fast with it.
Circular firing squad. I love that. Yeah.
So and then it just, being 81 now, 82 in about a month,
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you. I made it this far, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
And I still don't have any answers. No one has provided me answers that made me understand what I was supposed to believe and why I shouldn't believe it or should. So that's where I am right now. I do not believe in faith. I believe in reasoning. I believe in logic, P1, P2, etc. But I don't believe in having faith in things that I don't understand and or can't explain.
Yeah. I hear you on that. And I think you definitely have a consensus here on this panel at minimum, and a lot of people who agree with you in the chat. Everything you said, I totally agree with. I'm in the exact same boat, and that's why I do these lives, is because I'm leaving open the possibility that there is some evidence out there, but I'm getting just a tiny bit more and more discouraged by the day, because they all seem to be the same reasons, and they all seem to fall flat, like you observed with the first guest.
All right. Well, I'll go back. I played sports when I was in high school and college, and I played high school basketball. And I used to, now this 1959, 1960, and we used to play against schools that were Catholic schools. And before they took a foul shot, they would cross themselves. And I asked someone next to me, I said, why is he doing that? And he said, I don't know. Why don't you ask him? So the next time down the court, I think the ball went out of bounds. And I said, I noticed you crossed yourself. Is there a reason for that? Well, I'm asking God to make the ball go in the basket. And I said, that's interesting. What if I cross myself? And I was hoping he wouldn't take this the wrong way. What if I cross myself and I don't want the ball to go in the basket?
Yeah.
Do they nullify each other? Do they, etc.? And he kind of walked away from me muttering. So I never asked anybody again, but I'm bringing it up now. It's always, why did people back then have either Jesus or the Virgin Mary in a little plastic thing on the dashboard?
You know what this is
purpose?
like? That's like This is like the 50s version of getting into your opponent's head. That's what that sounds like. Yeah, that's what that sounds like. I bet you that guy was.
What is that?
Yeah.
And I've never, since then, I've never seen anybody. I mean, now, people don't cross themselves on the foul line. You don't see it. And I never see those little plastic things on the dashboard. But, I assume there were other things. I believe that prayer is talking to oneself. And I'm convinced. I'm convinced that that's exactly what it is, because I don't know, and I don't know whether those people know who they're talking to. I think they're talking to God, but how can they be sure when God doesn't respond?
Yeah, exactly. And because I used to be a Christian, and I used to think that I talked to God, and I used to think that I heard God's voice. And I can tell you, at least from my perspective, yeah, it was just me talking to myself, just me hearing my own thoughts. And yeah, no ops in the queue yet, but just me hearing my own thoughts. That's all it was. It wasn't anything else beyond that. And it was kind of embarrassing once I figured that out. I was a little bit embarrassed.
Really?
I was a bit embarrassed. Yeah, I was embarrassed.
If there's other people that would like to come in and take my place, I'd be happy to do that. I don't want to monopolize the conversation here.
No.
So.
Yeah, we gave you a little bit of form. Yeah. I'm mostly looking for opposition, but yeah, when there was nobody else in the queue, so I was like, yeah, let's talk and give you a minute to hear you out. So is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
No, that's my life story.
All right.
I've got 8 more years left to be 90, and I'm afraid of what that's going to bring on. And then 20 years to be 100. There was a guy in my president's, I hate to say that, my president's discourse last night, and he presented a 100-year-old veteran, which I thought was pretty cool. The guy, he seemed to be aware of what he was trying to think about. So I thought that was pretty nice. Then I started, will I get to be 100 years old? Because it's only 18 years away.
Well, hey,
anything's possible.
Anything's possible, and hoping you get there, man. Yeah. I'd love to see you stick around for a while.
Phenomenal attitude about this, because I know that I'm cranky at almost 36. If I make it to 100, can you imagine the crankiness out of me? Like, someone's gonna come up to me and be like, "Good morning," I'm like, "What's so good about it?" And it's like,
Like, I'm just gonna be like the person who will find anything to make it seem miserable all the time.
Oh goodness. If we are this far along and you still have to give the readings, in this live, you're that, at 100 years old. Oh boy, I can't imagine, Hammy. Just how angry you would be.
Right.
It's going to be like one of those things where like somebody's like, "Come on, Hammy, do the reading," and I'd be like, "Shove it up your ass!" Oh, man, Hammy, what the hell is this?
I don't like to be called senile because I'm not there yet, but I'm sure that's coming someday, maybe sooner than later. But I have been accused of being senile when someone doesn't agree with me. You senile old man, and I said, "No, I'm not."
Yeah, no, I'm not. Well, hey, you got
No,
your
I'm not.
faculties a lot better than I do. I'll tell you that. Like I'm forgetting stuff. I'm all over the place. So whatever you're doing, man, keep doing it. It's working.
I still put my keys in put my keys in the refrigerator. So
Well, it happens to the best of us.
and then I look around the house looking for them, asking my wife, "What did you do with my keys?"
Yeah. Yeah, there's an interesting thing. It was a TikTok video I watched last night, and I did send it to my wife because she's forever like it's gotten to the point where she knows when I walk back into the house looking for something, she knows exactly what I'm looking for. Even before I say something. And it could be one of many things. It could be my wallet, my earbuds, my phone, my keys, whatever. But she'll know exactly what I'm looking for. She's like, "Looking for your earbuds?" And I'm like, "God, how do you know that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm looking for them." She's like, "Yeah, I know right where they are." And she'll mess with me. She won't tell me where they are, right? But there was a study that was done that said that biological men have a harder time finding things because of their perception of the world. Like biological women have to be more aware of their surroundings and their peripheries, like more advanced and developed. So they notice things, which totally tracks. I'm not sure if it's actually true because it is a TikTok video, but I was like, that actually makes sense. So I sent it to her and she's like, "I don't care. You're still an idiot. You can't find things." So.
I get scared when she says they're in the refrigerator and I didn't ask her.
Yeah. But that would be my better half. Yeah. I can't find anything. So, but hey, guest, I thank you for coming up. I do appreciate it. And thanks for the support. And, again, happy birthday to you. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Very good. This was very interesting.
Good.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're liking it. Take care. All right.
To be like him when I'm 80, if I make it to that age.
I hope so, man. If I'm even halfway like that, I've won.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not looking good for me. I'm gonna tell you all that right now.
What we need to do is whenever Dark, how old are you now?
I'm 27.
Okay, so whenever I turn 80, me and Dark need to be on a live together, and see if he's that happy-go-lucky, and me being the cranky guy. And when people come up, they'll be like, "Oh man, it's so nice to be here." I'm like, "What's so great about it? What's so nice about it?" And Dark's gonna be like, "Whoa, simmer down there, Andy. Calm down."
Exactly. You guys, you can cancel you out. Exactly. Cancel each other out. So we don't have anybody in the guest queue. So if there's anyone who is over 18, a Christian, a believer in the Bible, believe that it's 100% true, let's talk and let's have your evidence. And we have another friendly coming up, but then we have, it's like a name I don't recognize, but we'll bring you up too, but we'll give Jessica. Hey, how you doing, Jessica?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Thanks for being here. It's always good to see you.
Oh yeah, no problem. I'm just cooking my tacos today for dinner. So
there you go. It's Taco Wednesday for you. It was Taco Tuesday. You decided to do it on Wednesday. Okay.
I mean, I make my own rules. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Isn't it still Tuesday somewhere?
Yeah. I'm a 6 foot tall woman, so I defy the normal.
You do whatever
anyway.
the hell you want. Yeah, exactly.
Who's gonna check me? No.
Time is an illusion, so
exactly.
it is Tuesday somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just popping up because you didn't have anybody else. Was this guy above me a op?
I'm not
Or you don't
sure.
know?
We were gonna find out, but yeah, let's find out. Hey, Durango, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, Trust.
All
I'm
right.
not an op, and I'm just going to pop up for like 2 seconds. First off, I want to say I've been listening for a while. Love your content.
Thanks.
But happy falafel, life's not awful.
Happy falafel, nice, not awful. That's pretty good. Happy falafel, nice, life's not
What
okay.
is that?
Well, we're trying to find a good replacement for, because I started with happy wife, happy life, and then somebody
Oh,
said happy spouse, happy house, and then Olivia pointed out that
okay.
it's patriarchal and still colonial in a lot of ways. So
Okay.
I'm like, okay, fair,
Yeah.
yeah, fair. And so I
Peg
think happy
in the chat.
falafel, life's not awful. I kind of like that.
Somebody, Peg in the chat brought up something like "Happy team living the dream."
Happy team living the
Hey,
dream. I
That's a
like
good
that one
one.
too. That's a good one
that's
too.
good.
Happy team living the dream. Yeah. Yeah, because all members of the team have to be happy, right? At least some semblance of
And
Yeah.
happiness.
for all you single people, I did say happy solo because YOLO.
Period,
Okay.
Pooh.
Ooh.
I like that too.
Dark,
that
did you
too.
say
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
that was Jessica.
But
it sounded like Dark said boo.
Yeah, I
No,
got
no,
a
no,
deep
no,
voice
no,
because
no,
I'm
no, no,
6 feet. And what about it?
About it, funny.
but I do like Durango. I do like the happy falafel. Life's not awful. I like that too.
The falafels aren't that good though.
Oh, you don't like them?
So I just wanted to
How
No.
is a falafel? How can a falafel be happy? Is my question.
Oh, see, we don't have falafel fans here. I like falafel personally.
I love falafel.
I'm not saying
I
I,
don't-
I love falafel. I'm just
I
saying
don't even.
how
I
can
don't
it?
even know what that is.
We live in Texas, that's why.
Am I like caught? Am I just like way past my date over here? Am I like too young for this shit?
Look, Dark. You know, the thing is,
What
you
the
need to be
hell is
more
a
cultured.
falafel, bro?
You need to be more cultured, okay? Dark Knight.
No,
You're
man.
just you're not as cultured as the rest of us.
No,
is
this
what we're saying.
definitely isn't adult table stuff. Definitely not. No, it's definitely not. What is falafel? Oh, it's chickpeas. It's ground chickpeas, and then with like Mediterranean spices in a ball, and then it's fried. It's deep fried. It's pretty good.
Well, I had it at Subway. Maybe that was my problem. They didn't know how to do
Oh
falafel.
yeah. That's probably yeah. Ugh. Yeah, I
They
don't.
took it right back off the menu. They're like, nah, I'm
Yeah.
not feeling
I'm
it.
sorry, Jessica. Did you just say Subway?
Yeah, Subway had falafel for like 3 months, and I tried it.
Jessica, this is the equivalent of like I'm talking Kansas white people, and you're expecting this company is like what you would imagine if
Maybe.
someone saying, "Oh my God, mayo is spicy." Like this is what you would imagine that as a company,
Maybe.
and you expected them to do falafel.
Maybe it was any port in a storm. Maybe that's what it was. Oops.
I mean, they do Philly cheesesteaks pretty well, so I was just giving it a shot.
Not gonna lie. That's not gonna lie. Their Philly cheesesteaks are pretty good.
Period.
Yeah. Pretty good.
So,
All I'm saying is Subway's whiter than I am. I'm pretty damn white.
every day.
With multiple people were talking, I didn't hear. Come again?
Yeah, I was just saying. Good. I just wanted to put that in. I love you guys. Love your content.
Okay, well, hey, thanks for coming up, Durango. Appreciate you. All right.
Hey, man.
Okay. Can't
My
hop
daughter.
on. Yeah, we're having fun, Lobes. Good to see you, friend. But yeah. So again, if you are a believer, a Christian, at least 18, and have evidence that the Bible is true, 100%, request up so we can talk. So let's do it. Okay,
Wow.
looks like YouTube chat is back. Looks like it. I think it is. Because I just had like a serious update. Maybe it's not. But resist oppression. Good to see you. H.E. Jonesy, good to see you. I know. It looks like emojis work the best, but numbers and emojis. But yeah, a lot of people text us down. But thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. So yeah, I think maybe the this topic may have run its course already. It may have already.
Well, what was your go-to reason when you were a believer, Trust?
My go-to reason when I was a believer? Oh, that's a good question. I thought it was true because I used a lot of the like historical evidence. That was the big reason. And it's interesting because like in my senior year of high school in theology class, we talked about the synoptic gospels, and the instructor came out and said, yeah, there's just some things that don't look right, but we're gonna explore all that, and then we're gonna talk about all that, and by the end of this, you guys will know why they all line up. And that was the same teacher who advised me to read the Bible because I wanted to go to the seminary in the next year. And I remember at the end of it, at the end of that class, I hadn't read the Bible all the way through, but I'd already found some problems. And so I was asking him a lot about the Old Testament, and then he ended up just telling me, just pray on it. That's what he ended up telling me. But
the thing is I grew up in a very religious area, so like there was no need to really defend the faith because everybody around you kind of just believed. And so like there was somebody that said, well, why do you believe in God? It was just, oh, hey, what church do you go to?
Yeah.
And so like, I didn't come across that concept of defending faith until I was already an atheist.
Interesting.
Witnessed defending the faith.
Interesting.
I was just like, oh, wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, mine was like the prophecies. I don't know how they convinced me, like, oh, all the prophecies came true and 40 different people ended up saying things that meshed together. And then, I don't know. Then I actually decided, went to see if that was true. And I'm like, why did they get me to believe this? Like, I just took their word for it.
Yeah. Yeah. The prophecies that was another one too. Yeah. But hey, we have a new guest up. We have a guest up. Wait.
I think
no,
they dropped.
They dropped.
Yeah.
You're right. They did drop. But we do have another one in the queue.
So. Well, this will be the last thing I say, and then I really do have to go because I do have to get a tad bit of sleep before my shift tonight.
Okay.
But the funniest thing is there was, whenever I went to this Pentecostal church, the youth group, there was this thing where they're like, so what would happen if an atheist came up to you and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, we don't have this around here. Like, what? And so somebody was trying, one of the kids, right? So one of the kids was trying to pretend to be an atheist. And she said something like, she was like, oh, shut up, God's not real. And it seemed like basic, like, look, I was a firm believer in God at this point in time, but even I kind of cringed at the stuff she was saying. And I was like, what? That, like, I've never came across an atheist, but, like, even I don't think that they would say something like that. Like, that seemed a little weird.
It doesn't seem right.
And then when I became an atheist and I met other atheists, I'm like, I thought back to that time and I was like, yeah, no, I've never said that ever.
Yeah, I've never said that. Oh, 7 Lemons, it's good to see you. And thank you, Ember. Yes, maybe I'll put something in the channel, in the Discord, some topic requests. I think I'll do that. I'll throw that up there. I'll post it as a forum discussion and people can make suggestions. All right. Well, we do have a guest up. But Hammy, are you leaving us now? You're going to get some sleep?
I will because
all right.
Yeah, I gotta be at work at 10, and I need maybe at least 2 hours of sleep.
Okay. Well, have a good sleep, and thank you. It's always a
Michelle.
pleasure to see you. Right
So
on,
it's a
Hammy.
pleasure
Hammy.
to see y'all
Bye,
and read on
Hammy.
YouTube, Dark. One of these days, Dark, we're gonna do our old man streams.
What are you talking about? Okay, yeah. Take
What,
care.
what are you talking about? I don't know. What is this contraption we're looking at now?
Right on.
All right, I'll see y'all later.
See you, Hammy. All right.
Hey, Frost, can I
Yeah.
say something super quick before you dive into the guest?
Absolutely.
Just occurred to me, and then I want to say this before my ADD takes it away. That argument about intelligence creating intelligence, what I just realized was that that argument makes a leap from things that are intelligent inside the universe to claiming that the universe is intelligent, therefore the universe had to have an
You're
intelligent
right. You're right.
Yeah.
There's an intelligent mind behind the universe. Yeah, that's a huge leap. So he needed at least one or two extra P's in there, and he doesn't have them.
I needed a few more.
Yeah, quite a few more. Yeah, yeah. Good catch. Yeah, good catch. All right,
Thanks.
good catch. All right, guest. Thanks for waiting. TYR, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
All
Thank you
right.
for having me up.
Yeah. Thanks for waiting. And how old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay. And I take it you're Christian?
Sure.
Sure, you are or not or?
I like to think I'm a Christian,
Okay.
even though I sin a lot.
Okay. What's your best evidence that the Bible is 100% true?
Well, I could give an argument for God if you'd like, in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also,
Okay.
reset the clock.
Yeah, I'm on it. All right. Go ahead, guest. What's your argument for God?
Yeah. Premise 1: greatness in reality is greater than existence in the mind. Premise 2: God, by definition, would be defined as the greatest conceivable being. Premise 3: if God exists only in the mind, then we could conceive of a greater being existing in reality, which is formulated P and not P. Conclusion: therefore, God exists in reality.
Okay, so this is like a take on Aquinas. Sounds like it is.
No.
Okay. Can you say P1 again? I'll put it up on the board so everybody can read it. You said it really fast.
Sure. Greatness in reality is greater than existence in the mind.
Is greater than existence in the mind. Okay. I'm just going to type them out and then we can parse it out so we can kind of figure out what you mean and all that. Okay, what's P3? Because I got P2 is God by definition is defined as the greatest conceivable being.
Yes.
Okay. And then P3?
If God existed only in the mind, then we could conceive of a greater being existing in reality, which would just be a P and not P, a premise 2.
Okay, so if God existed only in the mind, then we can conceive
of a greater being existing in reality, which contradicts.
Existing, yeah, in reality, and then conclusion?
Therefore, God exists in reality. Because the impossibility of the contrary.
Okay, because of the impossibility of the contrary. Okay, so let me pull that up. Let me put that up on the whiteboard and we can examine it. And then you can confirm what I wrote is right. Okay, does that look good? Does that look right?
Let's see. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. So let's see. P1, greatness in reality is greater than existence in the mind. I'm going to need, what do you mean by that?
What I mean by greatness is I would just take it to be the case that it's more actual, more ontologically complete. And then a thing that is conceptual or fictional will be less ontologically complete because they don't have an instantiation in reality.
Okay.
So you're saying that real things are more real than imaginary things?
They have more ontological completeness than things that only are conceptual and fictional.
By ontological completeness, you mean they exist?
Yeah.
So things that are real are more real than things that are not real.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. What's the next one? God by definition is defined as the greatest conceivable being. I guess that's one
that's how we
definition of
define
God.
God.
Yeah. That's not the definition, that's a definition, right?
Yeah, I think it would be the definition because if there was anything less, I wouldn't deem it as God.
Okay.
Well, this is, if we're consistent with what it means to be greater, you said that was like more real, more ontologically complete, then P2 is just saying that God is the most real thing.
God is the most real thing.
Yeah, that's what P2 means.
Yeah, I mean, by definition.
So
By
isn't that
definition, he would be the greatest conceivable being.
So your definition includes that he is real?
begging the
No, I'm
question?
just stating the definition of God. I'm not giving like a conclusion yet.
Right. But I guess my contention with P2, well, in addition to what you guys are kind of asking, is that it's still just one definition of God. Like people have different definitions of God. So how do you know that this is the definition of God? Like the only one, the correct one? I don't know how you'd want to qualify
Because
that,
I'd
but
say that God would have like more ontological completeness than like a contingent being. I would deem it as something that's necessary.
okay.
And you could,
Well, that's
and not only
smuggling
that,
in
but
some things here.
Yeah,
this is
you're begging
across a
the
lot of,
question.
this is across a lot of theistic frameworks, like such as the Abrahamic faith, like we could say even panentheism or
Well,
pantheism.
Not
Doesn't
Black
matter.
Islam.
wait, slow down.
Yeah.
You're putting the cart before the horse. Like, it doesn't matter which God it is, we haven't gotten to the point where we have to question, can a particular God exist, because we haven't established that a God exists.
Can a
Um,
particular God
so,
exist? What do you mean by that?
well, first we have to, like, this argument that you've given us there's nothing that points to the Christian God in it, or any other God. It's just God as a placeholder. This is trying to show that the concept of a God being is possible, or is the case, or however you want to say it.
I mean, sure, we could treat it as like a, sorry, my bad, go ahead.
Well, and the contention that I have, like P1 and P2, all they're saying is essentially it's an assertion that God exists or God is real, because when I asked you what it meant in P1 to say that it's greater, you said more ontologically complete. And I asked you, does that mean that they're real, that they
That
exist?
they're real. Yeah, they're more real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said, yeah, it's the realest thing. And so then in P2, well, hang on a second. In
Sorry, my
P2,
bad,
we're
go ahead.
also using greatest. And if we're using it in the same sense to make this flow deductively, then that greatest just has to mean the most real. So you're saying God by definition is the most real conceivable thing. So already we're just asserting that God is real in the premise, right?
Yeah, I would just say like existence is like a great like making property. I would treat it as like a predicate, and plus like if you're gonna contend like on the definition of God, I don't really think that's like a good rebuttal. I mean, we
It has
understand that
nothing to do
God
with the
is.
We haven't
definition of
rebutted
God.
anything yet. We're still trying to establish the definitions. We're still trying to establish that.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
You're kind of
okay, how about this?
avoiding what
How about
Livia
this?
said, TYR. She's not talking about the definition of God. She's talking about how you're smuggling God in premise 2.
Well, and that P1 doesn't
no.
mean what you think it means. Like all this,
premise
all your
2 is not the
P1 is
conclusion.
God exists, your P2 is God exists, your P3 is
It's not
if God
true.
exists,
If
and
God
your
exists.
conclusion is God exists.
That's also not true.
It is for the
I mean,
reasons I've given you.
I mean, you could look up if this is actually valid or if this is like begging the question. It's going to say no. And plus, like, I haven't made the conclusion in premise 2 or premise 1. I'm just saying the definition.
So your response to my criticism is go look it up?
I mean, you're saying it's smuggling in the conclusion. I don't think so. I'm just stating the definition.
Well, that's just based on what I asked you about greatness. You said it was more ontologically complete, and when I asked you, does that mean it's more real? You said yes. Are you using a different sense of the word greatness than what we established?
No, I'm saying, yeah, great.
Okay,
There.
so then, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like I said before, more actual or like more ontologically complete. So we would deem God as the greatest conceivable being. That doesn't entail the conclusion yet,
But don't things
because
either
I haven't
exist
formed my
or not
redemptio ad
exist?
absurdum. I'm sorry, what?
Do things have to either exist or not exist, right? Law of excluded middle?
Yeah, things that don't exist don't have ontological completeness. They're not
Yeah,
a
yeah.
true
So
thing.
if something exists, then its level of existing is like 100%. So God can't be most in that category because everything is equal.
What do you mean by that?
Well, something can't be more than 100% real.
Well, if it's the case that like I'm treating like existence as like no, as I'm treating greater as like ontologically complete or like more actual, then we would just deem a contingent thing, right, as like something that's less than a
Easy.
necessary being, that's less ontologically complete.
No, you're getting
Um,
confused. The issue is the law of excluded middle, that things either exist or they don't. There's no more complete, like there's no loading, there's no 50% done. Something exists or doesn't. And when something exists, it doesn't exist more than other things that exist. They all exist the same amount.
but would you say a necessary being is more ontologically complete than a contingent being?
Not based on the definition of ontologically complete that we agreed on.
So if a contingent thing could like fail to exist, then obviously the necessary thing is greater than the contingent thing.
It's not more real. It's either real or it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, well, first, the thing, yes, it would be more real because it would be identical to existence. Whereas in the contingent things would just participate in existence, which would be just like have like, there's just assigned like a predicate to it.
Law of excluded middle.
Yeah.
Well,
So what's
I just told you that existence in and of itself, right, is going to be greater
well? Wait a minute.
than any contingent thing that could fail to exist, right?
Right.
Okay.
And so what I'm saying, oh, sorry, Trust, go ahead.
I think because are you saying that existence is a property?
Yeah, we participate in existence. Yep.
How is it a property?
Well, how is it a property?
Yeah, it's like because you're essentially saying it's a predicate. How is it a predicate?
Yeah, it's a predicate because we participate in existence.
Okay, so existence is a property because we participate in existence. So if you have 100 real dollars versus 100 imaginary dollars, how does 100 real dollars participate in existence?
100 real dollars participate in existence.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, we could say like the money is
It
real,
just
it's
exists.
instantiated.
Yeah.
Wait, I was going to explain. We could say the money is real, but if we're talking about like how it's like ontologically complete, then we would like deem it as like less because money is fallible. Money, well, first, money doesn't have like a mind. Money doesn't have any
Okay.
self-awareness. We would deem it as less complete than a thing
You're
that
not
has like
addressing the
rationality.
problem. Your notion
Yep.
of ontological completeness is nonsense.
Yeah.
And you haven't
What's
addressed
the
that.
argument that can you give an argument why it's nonsense?
Yeah, I already told you. So either things exist or they don't, and there's no gradation.
Right.
So it's impossible for something in the category of existing to be greater than anything else in that category because they're either at 100%
Well, then I
or
gave it.
0%.
Right.
Then I gave
just
it
the same
wait,
as
hold
it
on,
is
wait,
for.
then I gave an argument. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, just I was saying, just to kind of bring it home, just the same as it is for like 100 real dollars versus 100 imaginary dollars. 100 real. The only difference between the two is existence, and so that's why I'm trying to understand how existence is a predicate, how it's a property.
Yeah, sure, because a thing that is necessary would be like 100% complete, whereas in a thing that's contingent would be less than 100% complete because it could fail to exist and it came into being. So therefore, yeah,
You're
that's how I would
misusing what
deem that.
contingent means.
Yeah.
You're trying to say that
How?
contingency is a gradation between existing and not, and that's not what that means.
Well, you would agree that like before your birth you didn't exist, right?
Sorry, before I existed, I didn't exist. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's my whole point, right? We would deem something that's actual, like say like this necessary being having 100% existence or more ontological completeness than you because you came into existence and you participate in existence, which would treat existence as a predicate.
Oh, you're not actually addressing the substance of what I'm saying.
Can you give an argument against that?
I already did, and like I said, you're not addressing
But I
the
rebutted the
substance of
argument.
it. No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. I already rebutted it by the fact that I like explained why a necessary thing
You're
would be
still
ontologically more
asserting.
complete than a contingent thing. Did I
Yeah,
not
and
give that like explanation?
yeah, and
Okay.
it's it's
And what's the
insufficient, is
argument
what I'm
against the
telling you.
explanation?
So
I
hold
mean,
on a second.
your like dichotomy, just like I mean, it was not a real rebuttal against like what I said.
Do I
All
have
right.
to say
I'm
it
not reading any
again?
script.
Let's just. How about this? Why don't you say it again and I'll type it out, Livia, so we can see it, and then we can type out Guest's rebuttal, and then we can just see where it sits.
Sure. So my contention is that because of law of excluded middle, things either exist or they don't. And that the sense that the guest is using greatness here doesn't make sense, because something that is real is, because of what the prior, it's either real or it exists or it's not. There's no gradation within the category of existing. So something can't be more existing or more real than anything else.
Yeah, right. It's either all or nothing, right?
Yeah, and Guest is contending that contingent things are somewhere in between in terms of how great or how real they are. And I think that is nonsensical.
Which is, and are you saying then that, so if Guest is saying contingent things are somewhere between how great or how real they are determines their existence, so like somehow they exist less than, say, a necessary being?
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
It's a category error, right? Because things, if we're talking about the spectrum of existing, it's a binary, right? 1 or 0.
Yeah.
And to introduce contingency into when we're talking about existing in that usage of existing, it doesn't make sense. A contingent thing isn't somewhere in between them. The contingent thing either is the case and therefore exists as it is a 1, or it doesn't and it is a 0.
Yeah. All right. Does that make sense, Guest?
No, I mean, I have a rebuttal against it.
Okay. Well, is what they're saying accurate of what your argument is what she's saying?
I mean, I agree that it's either the case like something exists or doesn't exist. Okay, sure. But the thing that doesn't exist doesn't have ontological completeness at all. It doesn't have any instantiation within reality. Now, when I speak of great, when I speak of something greater,
Can I ask a point of clarification? What do you mean instantiation in reality? What does that mean?
Something that actually exists in reality.
So something that
not
actually
existing in reality.
Okay, so instantiation is something that actually exists. I'm probably spelling this instantiation of reality, something that exists in reality, right? And so are you saying then that it's instantiation in reality means, like, could you be 90% instantiated in reality? And do you exist or not?
Well, referring to like, given the definition I already gave, like on like what's going to be greater and less greater, I say like things that come into being would not be identical to existence, whereas then a necessary being would be identical to existence, so it would be more ontologically complete due to the fact that it is self-sufficient. A contingent being not self-sufficient.
Whoa, hold on.
Therefore,
a necessary being equals existence?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Okay, so then I hold that the universe is necessary, and so that would be equal to existence.
Well,
so that just so then we could plug in the universe here. Greatness in reality is greater than existence in the mind. The universe, by definition, is defined as the greatest conceivable thing. If the universe existed only in the mind, then we can conceive of a greater thing existing in reality. Therefore, the universe exists in reality.
So philosophically, how I'm using the definition of necessary would just be something that cannot fail to exist. First of all, there's no contradiction of the universe failing to exist, and plus, the universe is going to fail to exist due to like heat-death equilibrium, which is that entropy is going to accumulate where no usable energy would be able to do work. So therefore, the universe
that's an assertion.
that's
an assertion, and that's That's not necessarily supported
No,
by
it's
every
backed by
scientist out there.
Contingency and
no, it's
necessity
backed
is
by
also
credence of
pivoting away
evidences that will raise the
from
probability of
my
this actually
contention.
Yeah,
no, this is actually it's actually going to be the case because due to like supporting evidences that raise the probability of this actually happening.
Okay, what's your
So
okay? So we have 68% of scientists who, well, no, that's not exactly true, but we do have evidence and theories that the universe is eternal, always existing. So that doesn't support what you're saying about heat death.
oh no, there's no like any like well no scientist wouldn't like support any like the universe actually existing eternally.
Really?
I mean
Where do you
if
get
that
that
was the
from?
case, yeah. So I get that first I get that from like evidences that support the initial start of the universe, which is the Big Bang. And not only that, but I also back this up
You
by
get it from
heat death
evidences that
equilibrium.
support the universe.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're
the Big Bang
saying
Yeah,
posits
we
that the
you're not
need
universe
like
making
an
is
sense,
eternal.
actual
dude.
source. Can
Wait,
we
hold
get
on. The
some
Big Bang actually
sources?
posits that the universe isn't eternal.
Can,
And there's a lot of supporting
can you
evidences
stop
that
for a
suggest the Big
second?
Bang.
Okay.
Well, you're asking me well, first, when I'm trying to explain myself, you're just like, you want to cut me off. But when you
You're
talk, I
trying to
don't cut you off.
bulldoze and pivot. I'm trying to keep us on track.
Well, I'm giving you my evidences that would support the universe not like existing eternally. No.
Can you just say the thing and not like babble about it?
Yeah, and you didn't actually give the evidence. You just claim that there are scientists that agree with you, but you didn't actually point us in the direction of where we can find these scientists.
And
Yeah,
like I
so
said, the beginning of the universe is still a pivot away from my contention with your argument, which has not been addressed.
yeah, I mean, now we're going based off like, no, I'm trying to. Well, first, yeah, I want to address you, but then the host made a rebuttal against my argument, just being that the universe could be necessary. So like, I'm tackling two like oppositions right now. I want to
All
like
right.
tackle host
I'll
first.
back up. I'll back up and we'll let Livia take over. And we have another friend coming up. Joel reads the Bible. We're not ganging up on you. Just want to make that clear, TYR. But we just
That's
have
fine.
another friend. Yeah. So okay, well we'll do this one at a time. We'll are those your shoes, Joel?
Well, those are my slippers, but I'm
Those are
just
your
getting
slippers.
I'm just getting an image up here to just help. But I'm barely here. I'm just getting.
Okay, barely
I don't
there.
know how to make this thing work.
I thought
Okay.
we were
Yeah.
doing Emerson.
Okay, no worries. Okay. Back to Livia and TYR. You two go at it. Go ahead. So, go ahead. Yeah, we'll resolve the contention that Livia has, and then you two can address this, and then we'll bring Joel's think up on the big screen, and we'll just look at it. We won't like talk about it
look
quite
at
yet.
just throw me on the big screen and
Yeah.
while you guys are talking.
Oh yeah, I was just about to pull that up, but okay. But you beat me to it. You're like we're on the same wavelength. So thank you, Joel. Okay, go ahead, guys. TYR, Livia, go ahead.
So yeah, so given the definition of like greater and more actual or ontologically complete, we would deem a thing like I could just give an argument for like why it would be the case that necessary existence would entail more ontologically complete. Yeah, so premise one would just be if a thing is necessary, then it's self-sufficient. Well, hold on, let me see. Premise one, if a thing is self-sufficient, then it will be more ontologically complete than a thing that is contingent. Premise two,
Why?
a thing that's necessary is more ontologically complete.
Why?
Therefore, conclusion, therefore, a necessary being is more ontologically complete than a contingent being.
Why though?
PQ. I mean, yeah, PQ, modus ponens.
Yeah, it's valid, but it's not sound. I'm asking why.
What premise did you disagree with?
I'm asking why necessary makes something more complete than contingent.
I can't show
Oh yeah,
this.
so I say that if we're going based off like completeness, a thing that is self-sufficient, necessary, cannot fail to exist. It would be more complete than a thing that can like come into being. It would be less complete than a
Why are you
actual
using the
thing that
label
is
more complete?
given the definition. It would be like analytically true.
I'm saying you're using the wrong.
It's still within the definition.
Let me. I don't know if you've understood my criticism, so I'm going to try to get us on the same page. So, even if we agree that things that are more ontologically complete, or things that exist are more ontologically complete than things that don't, my contention is that there's no gradation within the state of being ontologically complete. it's binary. Either it is ontologically complete or it's not ontologically complete. So
Well,
anything in the category exists, i.e. is ontologically complete, is going to be an equal amount of ontologically complete.
well,
Therefore,
I
there
guess
is
the
no
confusion.
greater in that category. Everything that is ontologically
Sure.
complete is at the same level of
I guess
completeness.
sorry. Yeah, I guess the confusion here is that I'm treating like completeness as like some modal like framework. So like
And I'm
if we take like
rejecting it. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
what's the
I'm reject.
argument? Okay, so you're rejecting my you're doing an internal critique on my definition. You're rejecting it. Or as a matter of fact, what do you like when you say you reject it? Do you have like an argument against it? And why would it be the case? Like you reject it? Like how are you treating existence?
Can you repeat back to me my criticism of your argument?
Yeah, you posited the dichotomy is either the case that things like don't exist or actually exist, whereas
We
in the
agreed
things
on
that
that, though,
actually
right?
exist.
You said I posited, but we agreed that, right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree that it's going to be like a dichotomy, but then when we're diving into the definition, under my modal framework, a thing that is like less complete would just be a like a contingent thing, and then a thing that's more complete would be a necessary thing, given the definition. It'd be
Yeah. So
invalidity
this whole project is you begging the question
How am I begging the question?
because you're using that modality, which well, oh, okay. You're using a modality that has a measurement of completeness for a thing that is binary. I can accept that, but then in that case, what you can't do is you can't have a thing in that category that is greater than anything else in that measurement. So if we do want to go internally, that's my critique, is that anything that is ontologically complete is not more ontologically complete or therefore greater than anything else that is ontologically complete. There can be things that are ontologically incomplete, and you can call those contingent or whatever, I don't care,
Thanks, Joel.
but there's no greatest. The problem is you need a greatest in a category where everything is equal.
Well, if we're given like completeness, like the only reason why we say like a thing that doesn't exist is not ontologically complete because it has like yeah sure it doesn't have no instantiation in reality. Okay, cool. But then we take something that is like a contingent thing, right? It has ontological completeness, but it doesn't have like full ontological completeness in the sense that it's self-sufficient and necessary. So I would deem it as
Like I
less
said, even if I
ontologically
grant
complete because
that
no,
doesn't
and
address the
because wait,
concern.
hold on one second. Because if a thing could fail to exist, right, then it'll be less ontologically complete in the sense of its modality. And given the fact that since I'm going based off modality, a non-fictional thing has no ontological completeness at all, which we would deem as not it doesn't have less ontological completeness. Yeah, that would just deem as like a contingent thing, but it has no ontological completeness at all.
For everything that exists, how much ontological completeness do they have?
Based off like you want it based off like a measurement or something.
Yeah, what's the value? It's 1 or 0, right?
I'd say all like how can I say? I'd say like all like contingent things like have like an equal like um ontological status,
I'm
rather than a
talking
thing
about
that's like
I'm talking about all things that exist. What's their ontological completeness? Is it the same for everything, or are some things different?
yeah. I already told you why some things would be different, or a thing could be different.
Doesn't really make
I think
sense.
this is like going in a
So you're,
circle. I think we're just gonna have to like a
what you're measuring isn't you're you're trying to sneak around the law of excluded middle is what you're doing.
I mean, if you're going based off like how I'm treating existence, I mean, it would just be analytically true unless you have like a rebuttal and like rebuttal on like how you're treating existence.
Well, I guess what she's trying to ask, and what I asked earlier, is something that's, something that's ontologically complete. So like all things that are ontologically complete, like to what degree, to what percentage? Because she was saying between 0 and 1, either 0 or 1, but okay, convert that to a percentage. Like if there's how complete? Yeah, like if there's something, or like what are you holding up? the square thing
That's
you're
my
holding up?
AirPods.
Okay, your AirPods and then my charger. Like, which one's more ontologically complete, her AirPods or my charger?
I say things that are all like instantiated within reality have like the same level of ontological completeness based off like their modal scope.
We agree. We
Yeah, we
agree.
agreed with that.
Finally.
Yeah, we agree.
So
Yeah, but
if
then I'm but
so
wait,
wait,
that's perfect. Wait, so now
wait,
I'm talking about something that's
wait,
necessary.
wait. So if God is instantiated in reality, then God has the same ontological completeness as my AirPod case, which
Not
means God is not
necessarily.
greater than my AirPod
No,
case.
no. Hold on. I can back this up. If it's the case that non-fictional
Do it
things or
quick. You
things that
got
are
a minute and 15 seconds.
Yeah.
if it's the case that non-fictional things have no ontological completeness because they don't exist in reality, then it will be the same as in the sense that a contingent thing is less ontologically complete than a necessary thing because it could fail to exist and you, as you said before, before your birth, you didn't exist. So you have less ontological completeness because you aren't instantiated or self-sufficient in reality itself.
So you're inventing a category of things to make it so that God can be greater than something, so that this argument works somehow. Like the things you're saying aren't addressing my concern that everything that is ontologically complete has the same level of completeness. This has nothing to do with contingent things. Stop wasting breath on that.
Wait, hold on. I already gave a coherent answer, right? Because I said if it's the case that non-fictional things have no ontological completeness at all because they're non-instantiated in reality, then we would have a less ontological completeness than a necessary being because
but you can't just say God is a necessary being as unchallenged.
Because
we reject your assertion that God is necessary.
You reject my assertion that God is necessary?
Yes, because if that was a premise, then you're begging the question.
Is this a rebuttal against
it's circular?
Then?
Well, because it's circular and you haven't demonstrated it.
Wait, hold on. Is this like a rebuttal against like premise 3?
Well, your premise. Well, hold on. Let's just go back and see that because I gotta.
It's like P1 and P2 were begging the question, right?
Yeah, P1 and P2 were kind of begging the question, but he already
explained why it's not.
well, that's the problem is that we don't see anything in your syllogism that God is necessary. We don't see anything about that.
Like that's what this is trying to establish.
It's trying to establish it, but then you're kind of smuggling it in. You're just saying God is necessary, and I'm saying, oh, well, I reject that.
It'd be analytically true. It'd be analytically true given the definition of God.
Well, there's no analytics here to demonstrate that. I don't see it. It's not here. You're just so therefore you're just asserting it.
If it's the case that God is the greatest if it's the case that God is the greatest conceivable being, if we could conceive of a being that is self-sufficient and necessary, then it would just be baked in the definition.
Okay, again,
you
that's
can't
the universe.
define God into existence. Like if you're saying that we have to accept God is necessary or that you've somehow established that, God is necessary is the conclusion of your argument. Mm-hmm. So that can't be a thing that you're relying on.
Yeah.
Well, obviously it's the conclusion.
But you understand why we don't accept your claim that God is necessary?
Yeah, essentially what you're saying is I'm defining God into existence, therefore God exists. So this is basically like when little kids play tag and then they just invent their own rules so that they can win.
The clock is done.
Okay. So
oh no, I'm not defining anything into existence. I'm basically
You're trying real hard though.
Oh no, that would contradict my syllogism. If I were to define something into existence, then it wouldn't be necessary. Or no, hold on. No, it
would be devastating to my argument.
Yeah, exactly. No, it would kill my argument.
No, it's a contradiction. Because if it was the case that if I were to define God into existence,
okay, stop. The host has to do a kick poll. Stop.
You guys can keep talking. We're doing the kick poll.
No, I don't want to anymore.
Oh, you don't want to? Okay. All right. Yeah, I think we're going to move on, guests, but hey, I appreciate you coming up. So.
All right, no problem, bro.
All right, have a good day. Appreciate the cordial discussion. All right. So that was rough because yeah, it was just basically we can conceive of the greatest possible thing. I'm defining God as the greatest possible thing, therefore God exists.
It's what
essentially what it was.
Argument does is it's an equivocation on greatness. And that's why I called that out at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Because it's trying to, oh, God is the greatest thing, the best thing, right? That they mean best. They don't mean any kind of numerical.
And I
greater.
contended with that definition from like the start, because I was like, well, that's your definition. That's one, but we have many, many different definitions for God. You know, like if you talk to a Norse pagan, they have a completely different definition of what God is, of what a God is, right? So
I've got a syllogism for his whole entire that pretty much blows out his God being necessary. That's going to be premise one. For something, if something is necessary, it means it has to exist in all possible worlds. Premise two, there are some possible worlds where God is not doesn't exist. Conclusion, therefore, God is not necessary.
Yeah. And I have a different one. You might know this one, Livia, but the I like Van Inwagen's No, in which basically he talks about a being that knows 100% that no gods exist. And so if this being exists in one possible world, then that means God doesn't exist, because what the modal says is basically if God exists, God must exist in all possible worlds. It kind of gets to that end. And so if you just insert the no and just say, and you can assert it using the same exact syllogism, you just replace the no with God, or God with no, and then you can say, yeah, so if the no exists in one possible world, that means God does not exist in all possible. God does not exist, period, because God must exist in all possible worlds. So you just wipe it out right there. And the way you do it is you look at the logic of impossibility, right? So you just see if it's just, you just use the laws of logic, and you just say, okay, is the no self-contradictory? A being that just knows 100% for a fact that no gods exist, it's not self-contradictory and it's not absurd. So therefore, it's possible. That's it.
Yeah, and trying to use like S5, it's meant as a tool for kind of like what ifs, like a sandbox.
Yeah, it's just a what. Yeah, that's it.
It's not meant to establish what is actually real.
Honestly, I hold all philosophies like that.
The thing that really gets me about the whole entire possible worlds thing is the fact that 9 times out of 10, when atheists use it, they say that is it possible that a God could exist in a possible world? And it's like, okay, well, if he exists in a possible world, then he exists in all possible worlds. And it's like,
same with dragons.
Where did you get that leap?
Yeah. To which you just totally destroy it with the no. It just totally destroys it, because the no exists in one possible world. That means God cannot exist at all in any possible world, and it's done.
Yeah,
totally done. So we have one,
because if he exists in one possible world, he exists in all possible worlds.
Mm-hmm.
The no.
Yeah, the no. Hey, Alexio, how you doing?
Good day, family. Blessed as always, just as everybody else.
Hi. Oh, I gotta be honest. Your audio is really, really bad. Can you like maybe switch mics, or maybe go speaker, off speaker, change it up a little? Because I had a very hard time hearing you.
Yeah, it's switched over now.
Much better.
Let me know.
There we go.
I think the last guest was trying to reason with reality, and I think if I had to frame his whole argument into one sentence, I think it would be, where do you believe matter and energy came from? If it was created, that answers your question. If it was eternal, then there's an eternity to consider. And we should ask ourselves how that eternity looks, or how it's
Are you
made
doing
up of.
Pascal's wager right now?
And the whole eternity, the eternity answers the question, because if we believe in laws of physics, right, something has an action and has a reaction, then that means our actions have consequences. In other words, we're not just hedonistic creatures, but rather we're a connected
I am. Speak for
family.
yourself.
Babies are very hedonistic.
They have a
So-
heart, though. I have 4.
You have 4? Yeah, so babies are extremely hedonistic. Extremely.
But they have a
extremely.
heart, so it's not just
But
like a animal,
you're
right?
saying-
That
That's
doesn't.
what I'm
But you're
But
saying.
saying
hedonism
something
doesn't
that's
imply
triple-
like lack of heart or animalism. It just is. Hedonism. That's not the definition of hedonism.
Hedonism means going after pleasure, and that's
Right,
not what
that's
I
what-
see in humans.
That's what
Well-
babies do.
That's what babies do. That's how they're wired. So
No,
They-
that's
like
that's
yeah,
like
like for example, like their brains and like the the chemicals in their bodies, it responds much in the way people experience pleasure, like when they breastfeed, when they eat, all that stuff. It's all that's what it's based on. That's how they react to stimuli. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the argument that I'm getting at, right? Because the roundabout is saying that it's a chemical process, but I could prove that it's not a chemical process because it's almost like another sense. We don't just have 5 senses, but we have a sense of morality that we could all agree on. It's not just something that's survival of the fittest, you would say, like animals would have. Rather, it's a higher sense of morality. It's showing that we have hearts that don't
Alexi,
just pump blood,
Alexi, I need to understand. You're saying that we all have a sense of morality that we all can agree on?
So morality, I would describe it as a bullseye. So some people, obviously, their sense of morality
Exactly,
is
Ashera.
not as centered, right? But as you talk to them and as you discuss why there's a higher sense of morality, you can actually show and prove that there is a way of living.
I don't
So
think even
that's
you believe
what-
what you're saying.
Just to finish my point, that's who Jesus is. It's God incarnate showing us the way to live.
Okay.
So, would you agree that stealing in every case is wrong?
Yes.
Okay. See, that's where you and I would differ because I think that, like, for instance, if I saw someone stealing a loaf of bread because they were hungry, no, I didn't.
What if you could convince them, hey, you don't have to steal it. You could ask for it.
I'm not going to. That's none of my business. But if I saw them steal something, no, if I saw them stealing bread, no, I didn't.
If your business is to make a better world for tomorrow, then yeah, it is your business.
I would say that they have an obligation to steal food.
Yeah. I have another way we
you
can
could
approach
ask.
this. Yeah. But go ahead.
You
Go ahead
could
and finish.
ask, right?
I
Just
another
like
way
you
we
have
can
a
do
heart
this.
for that person, so does the business owner.
We can nip this shit in the bud right now.
Do you think that lying is wrong
Yes.
in all cases?
Yes.
So, do you think that the people who lied to protect Anne Frank's family during the 1940s Germany regime, do you think that them lying, saying that there was no Jews there, that was bad? That was wrong?
I feel like they could have worded it differently and it wouldn't have been a lie. They could have said, there's nobody that you should kill here.
There's nobody what?
There's nobody that you should kill here.
So, guest, you're trying to like split hairs on things, but I honestly think that there are fundamental like framework level differences between your moral system and mine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like I mentioned, it's like a bullseye, right? Like we could talk
Yeah, but we're on
morality
different
and we
targets.
could all agree on the highest sense of morality. It won't be a differing point.
No,
We all
you're
come
doing
from different
archery
backgrounds.
and I'm
In other
playing
words, we have
tennis.
different aims, but when it comes down to it, there is a precise aim to morality.
Okay. Well, we can
Are
test
you
that.
listening to?
Yeah. Go ahead, Olivia. Finish your point, but then we can, and then I'll go through the test. But go ahead.
We
Well,
just
we've
did
already
with the
given you
stealing and the
examples.
lying, but okay.
We've given you examples already that contradict at like local level morality choices, but I'm telling you, in addition to that, fundamentally my morals are different than yours. So we have a counterexample. Therefore, you can't say all of us have the same morality. Like it's not written
That
on
we
our
agree
hearts.
on. Yeah.
So for example, with my last 2 refining points, would you say that it is higher morality? In other words, it's not lying, it's not stealing, but rather showing a better way. And I think since I didn't hear a rebuttal, you guys were on the same page. Like, yeah, there is a better way. I'm
No.
not saying I have the best way because I could be sharpened, right? So I think that's what our heart is
No.
inclined to do, is to sharpen one
Okay.
another
Well, we
and
can
to
test
make
that.
ourselves brighter.
As soon as I can jump in, we can test that. So we can.
He's not listening to me, so you go ahead. I'm
Okay.
just going to mute.
Okay. So we can test this, right? So now you would agree that there is suffering in the world, right?
Suffering is the lack of understanding. But
Okay,
yes.
but suffering exists, right? And is
Yes.
all okay? So it's all now. When you say lack of understanding, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, so if you are enduring a pain and you understand the reasoning behind that pain, you won't suffer.
Okay.
It's
What?
Okay,
a
so
process.
okay, so animals don't suffer then because they don't have the capacity to do that.
I'm not sure if they even suffer less than we do.
Babies.
I
No,
think
we
it
have-
comes down to the way that we think.
We have neuroscientific evidence that animals suffer. So you're saying that if there's
So
an animal
why do-
who hold on, if there's an
just to-
animal who drowns in a pond, that slowly drowns in a pond, are you saying they don't suffer?
So I was just going to counter your point. Sorry, I cut you off. That's why we have animal cruelty labels on things, because they're considered that they do suffer, right?
Okay. So animals do suffer, right?
The reason why I say that, I venture to say that they probably don't suffer as much as we do, is because they could probably undergo things like, let's say, walking a long distance. Even though we have it in mind that we have a destination, maybe animals just think about it a lot more simplistically.
But that's not what he said at the beginning, right? He did say that suffering is like a lack of understanding. Am I correct?
Yes. So I guess animals, if they don't try to connect two and two like we do on our journeys, then I would say that they probably suffer less.
They suffer less, but they suffer, right? I'm just
Yes.
trying to get a yes or no. They do suffer, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So is all animal suffering necessary? Thank you, chat.
I would say for growth, right? If we're going to say that suffering is lack of understanding, and if your
If you
growth
redefine
is
something,
measured by understanding.
Okay, so let me kind of put it this way: an animal that gets eaten alive by a pride of lions, what's their growth? So just imagine like a zebra who gets caught by a pride of lions. It's caught and it's alive, and you've seen these videos on National Geographic where they're starting to tear open its guts while it's still alive and thrashing and kicking. So is that animal experiencing growth?
So if it had escaped, right, it would have learned something, and it would have learned probably a new move, right, like kicking a lion or something.
Okay.
But since it got eaten, then it had learned, but it only took it to there, right?
Okay, so what is the growth for that animal when as it's dying, being eaten alive? Like how does it grow from that experience? I'm starting everybody. I saw it.
Yeah, I would say that that's where humans and animals differ. I would say,
Yeah,
but
I'm not talking about humans.
I don't have
I'm
an
talking about
animal
animals.
mind.
Yeah.
But I feel like an animal wouldn't piece together like, okay, like this is part of the journey in a sense,
So wait, it has to be aware of suffering in order for it to suffer?
No, I'm saying that if it understood why it was getting killed, then in a way it reduces the suffering.
Okay, I'm trying to understand, is an animal getting, I'm just trying to get a yes or no. Is an animal that's being eaten alive suffering, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
But what I'm getting to is that, I don't know animals' mind. I don't know if they ponder God.
Yeah,
But
I'm not talking about that. I'm just asking if they're suffering. That's all I'm asking. I don't know why we're kind of floating into these other things.
The reason I'm saying that is because if they did ponder God, then they could connect two and two together and say, hey, I'm going off to a better place.
I'm still not sure how that answers my question.
There's no suffering.
Alexia, I'm just asking for a yes or no. Do they suffer or not? It's a simple question.
I'm saying that it has to do with the mindset. Based on what we know about animals, right? What we think about animals, like we just think of them being just animals, right? Just predatory or
Okay.
then we would say no. Then
Yeah.
they don't know what's going on, right?
All right. Well,
You
hey,
should sign up for the dodgeball movie.
yeah. Hey, Alexio, they did vote to an early kick poll, and so we're going to move on to the next guest, but I appreciate you coming up. All right. Have a good day.
No worries. May the Lord more.
All right. So that was, wow. That was just, I mean,
whoever.
pretty simple. Yes.
Can
or
I
no.
be?
Yeah.
Can I be pedantic
Aaliyah the
real
Godless.
quick?
Oh, by the way, Aaliyah the Godless is here. So follow Girls Gone Godless. Girls Gone Godless. Girls Gone Godless. And I don't know if you heard, Aaliyah, I had a flavor for your crispy bits, and I fucking forgot what it is now. Okay, it'll come to me. But I thought of a flavor. Oh, yes. That's it. Great flood flavor. There it is for your David's crispy bits. And you know what? All yours. You're welcome. All right, go ahead, Dark Knight.
No, I just wanted to address the blunder that you made, host. So you said that humans and animals are different, and humans are animals, so therefore you take the L in that conversation. Just FYI.
Take the L.
Yeah.
I take the L. Okay.
I also want to call out the misogyny in that one because he ignored every single thing I said and listened to the two of you.
I'm so sorry. He totally did, and I'm so sorry. I was just like, oh God, I gotta like push this along. I was getting impatient, so I'm sorry about that.
A big thank you to whoever sent the kick poll.
Yeah, that was very nice. But I just wanted to like take this home because, and he knew what was coming. That's why he kept dodging me on the animal suffering thing, because that just totally blows what he was saying out of the water. Completely blows it out of the water. But
yeah, I just didn't understand that because like if we say someone like a child who like understands that they have cancer, like how does that therefore mean that they're no longer suffering if they have an understanding of it?
Yeah,
it
exactly.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
It makes no sense. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of, I went even a little bit more to an animal, like, okay, animals don't understand this at all. I mean, yeah, I could just say, it wasn't adding up to me. It really wasn't adding up.
If your answer is anything but an immediate yes to the question, do animals suffer? You're a moral monster and you shouldn't be debating ethics with anybody.
Yeah, that's probably true. Well, let's see if this next guest can redeem, because that was pretty bad. Hello, how you doing?
Hi. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I haven't done an age check on the last couple of guests, and I need to, so I can stay right with TikTok. So, are you at least 18?
Yes. Yeah, I'm 27.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. And are you a Christian? And if so, do you believe that the Bible is 100% true?
No, but I'm more spiritual, but I do believe more in like that there is like an intelligent being that some people call God.
Okay. And why do you believe that?
Well, I did want to come up here and be honest, because I feel like what a lot of people aren't admitting, or like who do believe in God, is like it's really like the reality that there could not be a God is like really like earth-shattering to my perspective on reality, if that makes sense. Even though I really agree with everyone's argument for like atheism, it's like still hard for me to wrap my brain around the fact that it could be true that there couldn't be a God, if that makes sense.
Oh, I see. What you mean. Okay. Well, hey, man, we appreciate the honesty. Seriously, we do.
Yeah.
Now, what's hard for you to wrap? You like what part of it is difficult for you?
I feel like probably personal bias, like experiences where I'm like, wow, this is something that I can't explain just through coincidence. And of course, it could also be a bias, but it's also like things that I really feel that have happened in my life that feel like there had to be some higher power to kind of like intervene in those situations. So, yeah.
Okay. Now, I can hear that. I understand that. Now, one thing about my experience, because I was a Christian for over 30 years, and the folks here on this panel, on this fine panel, have been believers in one form or another in their lives, you know, for varying periods of time and something and all that.
Well, I wasn't.
Except for Livia. Thank you. Thanks for clarifying. I thought that might have been true, but I'm glad you popped in and said something. So what I want to, I think from my experience, guest, is that I was seeing these coincidences or these moments when I was a believer. And the funny thing is that when I no longer believe, I don't see any of these anymore. I don't see ghosts. I don't have these like these moments of spiritual moments, or, you know, like these, like for example, you know, any moments where, you know, that like things just happen at just the right time. You know, there's things that are timing. Yeah. But those can all be explained. So I'm trying to, how would you explain that I don't have these like spiritual moments anymore?
I think it's really perspective. Like, we all look through lives through certain lenses.
Okay.
And there are things that we know to be true, like science and everything like that. So yeah, I really do think, I heard somebody in the comments say something about indoctrination. I know that has a big thing to play in why I still believe in the things that I believe, and it's so hard for me to dissect those beliefs, even though what everyone's saying is making sense.
Okay.
So yeah, I didn't really exactly come up here to argue. I just wanted to
I didn't
spread some
get that
honesty,
impression.
because
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
felt like there
We
are
like
people
honesty.
not being honest and just wanting to say, I believe God is real because I believe it, but they're not really making valid points. Yeah.
Oh, she's seeing what we're
Yeah.
seeing, guys.
Yeah.
She's
Like,
seeing
I can
exactly
admit that
what we're
I'm
seeing.
biased, and that's what's happening right now.
Say
and
less.
That's my life.
Thank you. Say less. I mean, that's
Based, actually.
yeah. Thank you for seeing that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it kind of drives me crazy sometimes. Like, how are they not seeing this? You know,
Especially that last person. Not to call him out, but I was just like, no, I have to request, because people aren't being honest with themselves. And even me fully, like, I understand there's a cognitive dissonance, because I'm here saying, hey, I believe in your guys' arguments, but I still have these beliefs and I still have these occurrences that I'm not ready to let go of, you know,
okay.
Because of comfort, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I went through the same thing with my beliefs. It was a comfort thing. I think the biggest thing was this, you know, this fear of hell, right? That was a pretty big thing for me. Like, what if I'm wrong? You know, what if I'm wrong? But see, the problem with that, the thing about that is that if I am wrong, then this God is a pretty bad guy, because this God is punishing me for not believing in something that doesn't have enough evidence. And that's not right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And I've never really believed in a God that's more punishing. I've really taken to I don't you probably heard of it, like liberation theology, where God fights for the most oppressed and people in society, and like that's really who God is, like, really fighting for and on the side of. But I know there's still a lot of critiques within that lens.
I hear you.
Yeah, as well. So
yeah, I hear you. Cause I've heard of that, but then it starts to fall apart pretty quickly, because then you're going to have to start making a lot of concessions about this God, right? Because this was kind of I was trying to take the last guest down this road, because if this God is all powerful, like all the omnis, right? And if he is championing for the oppressed, or the, you know, the people who are like being victimized, or, you know, quote unquote weaker or whatever, then this God could easily just snap his fingers and just make it all go away. So why would he have to champion for anything, right? Okay. And then then you're going to have to start thinking, oh, well, then maybe this God isn't all powerful, because he can't do things all the time, or maybe he's not all good, or maybe he's not all this or not all that. Yeah.
Yeah. I see
I,
that.
I hate interrupting. I'm so sorry. I do have
No.
to drop. My phone's gonna die.
Oh,
It won't
yeah. Okay.
charge when I'm
No
on
problem,
tunnel.
man. Well, thanks for staying up, Dark Knight. Hey, everybody follow Dark Knight on his way out. And
See you,
Thanks
Dark
for
Knight.
having
Take
me.
care.
yeah,
Take
take
care,
care.
everyone.
Happy
Enjoy
charging,
the rest of
friend.
your day.
All right.
I'll
See
take
you.
care.
All right. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So how do you reconcile that? Like this all omni God that could stop all this suffering, like there wouldn't be a reason for an all omni God to be an advocate for people who are in pain and suffering, right? There wouldn't be any need for it.
Yeah, I think maybe it's like I don't really hold God to like the highest of powers. Like, even though, see, I might have just contradicted myself because I said like God is more like all powerful, but I think, yeah, maybe it's more like an entity or some type of intelligent being. But I guess, yeah, that's just something I'm more so still trying to make up my mind about because I'm
hear
on
you.
the fence about so many things. But
I hear you.
I did just want to come up to say I appreciate what you guys are doing here, and
Well,
yeah,
thank
I
you.
wanted to
Yeah.
offer some honesty.
Well, you know, I appreciate the honest. We all do appreciate the honesty, and I think that if you're right, if people were more honest, we'd have like better discussions, and I wouldn't honestly, I wouldn't have a lot of clippable moments. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't. This would be boring. Like nobody'd be watching. Yeah, but I mean, what
Really.
makes people like tune in and watch is because we just got these people just justifying all these beliefs that just don't make sense.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, and they're just twisting themselves into pretzels and then we're going round and round and all that stuff. Yeah. So I appreciate it, man. This is kind of a nice palate cleanse. So
Of course. Thank you.
yeah, you got it.
That's all.
Anytime.
Okay.
All right, take care.
Bye.
So but yeah. So you liked my happy charging comment, Jessica? I saw that in the chat.
I'm just a jokester. I'm like, happy charging is crazy.
Well, you know, might as well. Hey, it's better than charging miserably, right?
Here you go.
And Christina the Godless is here too. Christina the Godless. It's great to see you. So again, follow Girls Gone Godless, and you can get to Girls Gone Godless by following Christina the Godless first of all, and then that will lead you to Girls Gone Godless. So they are I like them. They're really cool. Your Sunday live was hilarious. I just gotta say. It was funny. All right. All right. Well, I got about 15 minutes left and Alexio is back up to request. So maybe we can get back to the suffering discussion. However, I think I'm going to put in a ground rule that maybe, you know what? Yeah, maybe I'm just going to stay silent. And Livia, how about we just, do you want to take another crack at Alexio, Olivia, or are you done?
I'm starting to feel my gardening from earlier, so I might tap out.
Okay. Well, I got a little bit of time left, so but yeah, feel free to hang out, you know, drop down, whatever you like. Self-care is number one. Yes, absolutely. Empathy, absolutely. Okay, we'll give Alexio another shot here. We'll try a second stab at the suffering thing. All right, Alexio.
I'll hang out, but I'll take 20% off the top.
Okay,
Hey,
sounds
can you
good.
hear me?
Yeah, hi Alexio. Okay, you got it. Maybe
Awesome.
you know what? We'll make it 25, Livia. How about that?
I like it.
Okay,
Let's go
you
12.
like it. Sounds good. All right, Alexio, you're back. You're back for a second round. I got about 13 minutes left. So what do you got?
All right. I commented on the comments. Not sure if you saw, but I had a recent debate with somebody who was arguing the same point, and he was saying, "Hey, why wouldn't God just change the people and put something in their hearts to not make them do that?" And
Okay.
it all
Well,
comes
that's not
down
where
to
I was going. It's not where I was going.
Okay, so in other words, your point is defending free will. So it's like saying,
No.
"Hey, that person has a choice also.
No.
Why should they?"
No.
So what is your point?
Okay. So, well, I do need you to answer kind of honestly here. Do you know,
Yeah,
animals who
I'm answering honestly.
Okay.
The reason I didn't give you a straight yes or no in the past questions is who really knows the mind of an animal, right? So I was trying to be sincere and honest with you, but yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. If you saw an animal that appeared to be in distress, would you, and there would be no cost to you to take this animal out of distress. Like, for example, let's just say you have, there is an animal that is in a forest fire and is getting smoke inhalation and burns, and it started by lightning. Okay. This forest fire started by lightning, and you have a helicopter with a hook, and you can hook this animal and take it out of the fire. So there's no harm to you. You will not get hurt, and you can just lift the animal to safety. Would you do it?
Yes, if
Okay.
permissible. Yeah.
Yeah. You just have the helicopter. You know how to drive the helicopter. You know, there's not going to be no danger to you at all. You can just go in. You can scoop that animal right out of the fire. Right, started by lightning. Now, would God do it?
It doesn't mean he wouldn't, but he wouldn't.
He wouldn't. It doesn't mean he wouldn't, but he wouldn't. Okay. All right. Alexio, between you and God, who has done the morally right thing?
God always.
God always?
We're all impure. Yeah, God is
okay.
pure. Yeah.
So you shouldn't then save the animal, right?
You might even say it's going against the will of God to save the animal.
Yeah, you could say that. And that, my friends, is cognitive dissonance.
Not necessarily. I think that in a, just keeping nature as it is, then, you're completely fine leaving it there. Okay. But if your heart doesn't want to stretch out to help that animal, then God sees that also. He's not saying, hey, you're going against the laws of nature. Instead, it's, hey, you're presenting your heart. Go for it.
Wait, so your system of morality doesn't your system of morality doesn't obligate us to easily end suffering? That's
at no cost to us. Yeah.
Yeah, no cost. Yeah, that's not okay. That's a shitty system.
No, because when we're talking about God, we're considering eternity, right? So, like, if this life were the only life, if this is all we see in this blink of an eye, then
but
hey,
no
yeah, like why
an afterlife? So I don't see how that's relevant.
So we're wanting to change for a better tomorrow, right? Like I mentioned earlier, we don't know how those people are accepted. One, we know that they do come into peace, right?
Well, we're not talking about people. We're talking about this animal. Does this animal get eternal life?
I would say yes.
You would say yes.
So God mentions the cows.
Chapter verse, please.
Yeah, in the book of Jonah, there's cows that are saved.
Saving an animal makes for a better tomorrow.
All cows go to heaven.
Well, the people who have pets, right, who have animals, we understand the soul, right? Like we connect. It feels like more than just looking into eyes. But yeah, it's just other people who aren't around animals, they might just see animals as animals.
Okay, but you know how at the start I said I don't think even you believe what you're saying? Like,
yeah,
the laughter in your voice tells me you don't believe this stuff.
No, I'm smiling because it's beautiful to share with you all.
It's beautiful to say that it's okay for animals to suffer?
No, so I'm relating it to humans because I know that that's the real question in your hearts.
That's a pivot. No, I'm talking specifically about animals. I'm not talking about humans at all.
So you care about animals
I know you
more
want
than
No,
people.
That's not what I said.
I'm getting to the actual heart of the question. So when it comes down to people
actually, you don't know. You don't
right?
know what the heart of the question is. I haven't gotten there yet.
Suffering.
Mm-hmm. It's suffering, but there's more to it. You don't know where I'm going. That's my whole point. You don't know where I'm going.
You had stated it. Why would God allow suffering?
No. I'm just trying to establish whether or not God would, between you and God, who's doing the right thing. And you already said God is doing the right thing by not intervening in suffering. And now here's the other piece to this though. Is the animal that is trapped in a fire caused by lightning, taken in smoke inhalation, burning, is this animal suffering necessarily or unnecessarily?
So to tag along with your last comment that God will allow suffering, I mentioned that suffering is not understanding. So God, who is all understanding, he understands why it's not suffering, right? The animal who might not understand what's going on,
Okay.
it's just
Waves are
burning.
higher.
So, like, for example, the people who were burned in the concentration camps,
And he keeps wanting to go to people.
if they
Alexio,
believed
hold on.
that
I
they
gotta
were
stop you.
dying for their faith,
I know you
then
badly want to pivot to people, but we're still focused on this animal. So I'm sorry to interrupt, but I don't know how that's an answer to my question. I'm asking,
well, I was
is
trying
that
to finish.
I know, but is this animal? Well, you're going to like the Holocaust and all that stuff. This animal has nothing to do
I'm
with the
trying to
Holocaust.
relate it to suffering. Those people had the reason behind their motives, so it didn't matter what came their way.
Okay.
They were impenetrable. They were unsinkable.
All right. I just want to know, this animal that is in the middle of a forest fire caused by lightning, that is taking in smoke and getting burned, is this animal suffering necessarily or unnecessarily? Is this animal suffering necessary, yes or no?
I'm saying that suffering isn't even necessarily there. That's why I can't really answer your question, if you understand.
It's a yes or no question.
You're asking, is suffering
is that animal suffering necessary?
Exactly. So you're
does
saying,
it have to happen?
I would say yes in the course of time.
It is?
If we're going yes or no questions, yeah.
Okay. And how is God can't stop it then?
He can. I said that if
so it doesn't have
he
to
can,
happen.
but
so it doesn't have
he
to happen.
wouldn't,
Yeah.
because he sees the greater purpose of it. In other words, he's guiding the animal to escape, right? Whatever may happen with that animal, you see what's going on with that animal's growth. So like animals, I don't know what's going on in an animal's mind to say that they reason like we do, but there's an old saying that any atheist becomes a theist whenever they're in a bunker. And I think it comes down to your life to death.
Yeah, we're going all
when
over
you're
pivoting everywhere.
Sorry, I'm just trying to connect the dots and make it all concise.
It's because I'll tell you, I had two family members who served, and both non-believers, not once, and both of them saw live action, live rounds. Did not pray, didn't happen. So that's just not true.
Which is okay. He's going out to defend his country, right? That's beautiful, right? There's like a sense that it strikes a note
anything
in
you can
us,
do
right?
to get away from.
No, I'm tagging along with what you're saying to make to prove the point that I'm bringing up true. So we see it as beautiful, right? Somebody standing up for their country and going out and putting their life in danger for ours, right? It's seen as notable.
Can God stop the animal suffering or not stop the animal suffering?
We need to know
just to finish my point.
Well,
so
no, it's not. This isn't relevant to the animal suffering. We just need
it's relevant to the whole suffering point.
Land the plane, Alexio. Please land the plane. I only got like 4 minutes left. Land the plane, please.
Okay, so we see it beautiful, right? That much more beautiful is it whenever you have an instance like that one soldier that was going out and instead of taking a gun, he was going out and saving people.
You're using a lot of words to say nothing.
We see what true morality is. We can all agree.
We're not addressing the question at all.
True beauty is.
I don't know how this relates to this animal suffering at all. I mean, are you saying that an animal suffering is beautiful?
So if I could just have
I get it. It's word association poetry. That's what
if I could have like 20 seconds, because I know you don't want to hear scripture possibly, but it ties it all together. This is the point that I'm trying to get to. When Jesus was walking around with his disciples asked him about somebody who was blind. And they asked him, hey, why is this guy blind, right? Did he sin? Did his parents sin? Why is this guy
suffering?
know
the story.
Yeah, we know the story. What did Jesus answer?
He said, I made this guy blind so I could flex later on.
No, he didn't say flex. He said for the glory of God to be shown. Not shown in the way that like, hey, look how amazing that person's doing. But it's also for us to, it's a whole glory. In other words, you could see beauty in the person who is seen as inconvenienced, right?
So
somebody who is fighting cancer, somebody who is inconvenienced with a very negative action, there's always light that could, in other words, we could always see God's glory.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
and how does that connect the dots to the animals?
yeah, so are we saying that the animal suffering is for God's glory hole?
So if the animals were to reason at the time of burning, right?
Uh-huh.
And they can't escape, and let's say their minds are like ours, and they were to say, you know what? This has a reason. This fire didn't just pop out of nowhere.
Egg.
There's a purpose for this fire.
Uh-huh.
So
There's fire in the glory
okay,
hole?
I can't escape, and instead of suffering, instead of dying to the flame, I'm gonna accept the flame, and I'm going to. At that point, you're almost arguing instead
Okay.
of burning to death.
Okay, so you're accepting the flame in the glory hole, in God's glory hole. And so what I'm trying to understand is, how does the suffering of the animal relate to God's flaming glory hole?
So if the animal were to reason, hey, there's a reason for this, and I'm not just dying for nothing, then it shows God's glory. It shows that, hey, you're seeing what's true.
Okay, so the animal suffering is showing God's glory. That's why it's necessary.
Accepting of the purpose.
Accepting of the purpose. Well, go ahead.
If
Lydia.
So
anything,
at
to
that
me,
point, suffering is out of the
it-
window.
the animal's suffering detracts from God's glory, because if God was everything he's supposed to be, he wouldn't allow that. So
Yeah.
it makes me think less of him.
If
don't
this
use a
life
glory
were the
hole for more
only
than
life
4
we were to
hours.
have,
Yeah.
but we have an eternity. In other words, we have something waiting for us
No,
after.
but you don't know that.
So the
You're just
people who
saying
are
that.
getting bombed, I honestly believe that God accepts them with that much more of a hug. I honestly believe, because he knows everything. He understands our frustrations.
Would God hug, in accepting and using the fiery glory hole?
If animals really believed and thought like we did, right? And if an animal really reasoned and praised God, I believe that God would be
Wait,
pleased.
so the glory goes into the hole for the glory, right? It's a receptacle.
For the
so
glory. But it's
God-
fire.
God is
But it's on fire.
receiving-
Remember that, Libya. It's on fire. The hole is on fire.
I bet it hurts.
That's suffering.
So
Yeah. But it's for
the
God's glory.
the glory is going into God. I just want to be clear on where God is in this glory hole.
It's everywhere, and it's for our recognition also, right? He doesn't
God's
want
on
us to walk
both
around
sides of the
blind.
glory hole.
So our greatest weakness is blindness, like I mentioned, not understanding. If we understand, then we comprehend.
I'm trying to
We don't suffer
understand.
anymore.
You're saying God is
really
on
are.
both sides of the glory hole.
You guys are self-projecting. You guys, I don't even realize how you project your inner selves. It's really defiling.
I
Be
think
pure.
it's a
Be
legitimate
moral.
question. If God is
E-
everywhere,
even
well,
in-
not just his glory hole, he's on both sides of every glory hole.
Even in an atheistic viewpoint, right? Like Pascal's wager is crazy to consider. Like you guys don't even. I'm not putting you guys against a wager because I don't think it's about that. I don't think you should place it on a bet. But when you consider all things,
Could we look at the
you really
trees
see
too?
God everywhere. You see God everywhere. Where did matter and energy
Oh, there it
come from?
is.
You found the glory hole?
Oh no, the look at the trees.
Oh, the look at the trees. Okay. We found that. All right. Well, hey, Alexio, really enjoyed the second talk, but I do have to run. So I'm going to bring up like mods to show appreciation and friends to show love and all that stuff. But hey, I appreciate you coming up.
No worries.
More fun
All
We
right.
got more
next
than
time.
us.
Thanks,
Until later.
Alexio.
Hi.
All right.
Much love, man.
I just wanted to say one thing, Trust, and that
Yes.
was that I helped trigger that kick pull to get rid of him, and then you brought him back,
I
and so
did.
now I feel like you owe me. So I'm gonna give you an option. Either you can come on the podcast again, and we can talk about the craziness
glory
of
hole?
Bible stories. Yeah, or we can talk about God's glory hole, or we have to go find evidence for God's glory hole.
Oh, geez, that's so okay. That is all right. You twisted my arm. I'll come back.
I know,
I'll come back.
I know.
Kicking and
Okay,
screaming.
okay, sounds good.
Ah,
Good, great. That's all I came here to say was because I had to suffer and I didn't understand why I was suffering.
It was necessary.
It was necessary,
It
I
was
guess,
necessary.
for I
Well,
don't
'cause we
know who it
found
was
God's
necessary
fiery glory
for.
hole. Yeah.
And I guess that was worth it.
That was
so
worth it. But
I guess in the end, the suffering was worth it. I still don't understand it, so I still think I'll call it suffering.
Okay.
But at least there was a glory hole in the end.
Would you be interested in a kick pull coupon that never expires?
I would take that, or I would like to use a coupon for a day where I come as a co-host with you.
Oh, that's even better. Okay. Coupon, never expiring co-host. Absolutely.
And you have to come on Girls Gone Godless again so we can talk about silly Bible stories.
Deal.
Done. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now I don't feel like my suffering was suffering anymore.
Okay. It was worth it, right? So it was necessary.
I guess.
Because you got a coupon out of it. Okay. I
did. I got
Mine
a
was
coupon,
still
we got a
suffering.
deal.
Oh, you want a coupon too?
I want my 40 cents
Should we
back,
just make this for Oprah? Everybody gets a coupon.
You get a coupon. You get a coupon.
Everybody gets a coupon.
Undid it. Nah, just joshing.
Oh goodness, yes, absolutely, Aaliyah. I will be there. That sounds fantastic.
It's a date.
It's a date.
Okay, thanks.
All
When
right.
is it? Is it gonna be on Sunday?
Probably not this week, huh? Probably.
No,
I
not.
can't. Yeah, it'll probably be at least a couple
No.
weeks. Yeah?
We'll have we'll get it scheduled.
We'll get it scheduled,
It'll be a
and
little
we'll let
Yeah,
everybody know. Okay.
as we do, as we always do. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
See you, Aaliyah.
Bye.
Bye.
That was
Okay.
cute. See you, Leah.
Yeah. And okay, so yes, 7 lemons. Are you asking for a coupon? Did you suffer? This is almost like a class action lawsuit. I'm just going to be handing out kick pull coupons for a while.
Right.
So if you were in Trust Live, and
God's
you heard
fiery glory hole.
Yeah, if you heard the live about the fiery glory hole, you may be entitled to compensation. Yeah.
Oh man.
Just fill out this form. Just fill out this Google form. And you may be eligible
Class
for
action incoming.
Yeah, class action incoming. Exactly.
Now, is this international? And if so, do I still get paid in US dollars?
It's going to be Filipino pesos, unfortunately. But the coupon is good for the kick pull coupon is good for in any country in the world. Any country that takes coupons, it's good. So there is that. Okay, well, folks, these are 2 mods. Is there more? Oh wait, there's more. Okay, here's another mod. I like to invite my mods up at the end to say thank you to them and tell them how much I love them, and that they secretly like keep me. They carry me. My mods do carry me, so I kind of have to do this, or else it would just look really bad.
W mods.
Yeah, W mods for carrying trust. Exactly. That's all the mods I see. So if there's any mods that I missed, please come up so I can properly thank you. And but we had friends like Joel Reads Bible contributed the 68% of scientists who don't agree that the Big Bang is the start of existence. I was actually pulling that up. And so, and then Joel just came through and just put it up there. So I was right in the middle of bringing that up. Joel eats soup with a fork. Maybe it's so that Joel could enjoy it for a little longer, okay? Well, you showed us your slippers, Joel. I mean, you did show us your slippers, and then you put the graph up. I mean, that was quite a bit. That was quite a bit. So yes, gifts for the mods, follows for the mods, W's for the mods, all that stuff. And please follow Livia and as well, because Livia is a fantastic co-host.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. You're fantastic. I mean, you were just like carving that guy up with the necessary contingency thing, just carving him up like a turkey.
A little punchy today, it's true.
Yeah. Well, I totally understand that. Totally understand. So pray for me to pass my exam. Okay, well, we will do the science prayer for Pervy Sage to pass, so that Pervy Sage passes the exam. So in the name of science, we hope that Pervy Sage passes the exam. Cool. All right.
Sending thoughts to your exam.
Sending thoughts to the exam. You're gonna crush it, but Jesus, study too. Please
Thoughts
study.
and prayers. Thoughts
Yeah.
and prayers.
Yeah. Thoughts and science and prayers. So absolutely. And Jessica, thank you also for being a fantastic co-host as well.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. Anytime. So
Thanks for letting me come up and be silly
Absolutely.
with you
Very
guys.
Thank you for having me up.
Coffee and Jesus. Oh yeah, Coffee and Jesus. Yeah, you're up here too. So thank you for coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping to get in before it was over.
Oh yeah.
But that's fine. That's fine.
It'll have to be another day. Yeah. It I do have to go.
Absolutely.
I'm about 8 minutes over. But
Yeah.
okay, but I'll be back tomorrow at right around the same time. So why don't you come back and we can talk?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I should be able to catch your live tomorrow. I've been working and everything else. So I will
Okay.
be back tomorrow.
Okay. You will be back tomorrow. Okay. Let's bring up one more friend. One more friend before we go. And that's Godwin. And Godwin is someone y'all should follow too. So y'all should follow Godwin. And then while Godwin is taking his time coming up, I'm going to jump over to the YouTube side and just show some love for Rainbow Ash. You're amazing. Pseudo V Science was in there earlier. Don't see him now, but amazing. 8 Dart Gently, amazing. Resist Oppression, amazing. HLT, amazing. And you guys endured the YouTube outage, whatever the heck was going on there. So I appreciate that. But I guess the word of the day is, the phrase of the day is God's fiery glory hole. So there it is.
Hey guys, how are you?
Godwin, good to see you.
So good.
How you doing, Tress? Good to see you, buddy.
It's good to see you. Everybody, please follow Godwin if you haven't, if you don't follow Godwin, because Godwin's amazing. So Godwin has good stuff as well. Absolutely.
I'm trying to build up my YouTube. It's Godwin_7.
Oh, you hear that, YouTube? Godwin_7. So please go subscribe, YouTubers. So we'll get you some subscribers there. But it's fantastic to see you as well. So I guess the last thing is, Joel, are you going live soon? I don't know if Joel's even still here. Is Joel still here? We need someone to raid. We need someone to raid. So
believe it or not, Tiny Science has been keeping like 2 Filbros on for like hours. It's hilarious.
Goodness.
I don't know.
Hours? Oh wow. Okay.
One was on for an hour and he has a new one.
He has a new one? Jeez, they're just making the rounds today. Oh, I heard a rumor that the Triple G girls are going live tonight. I heard that rumor too. So we're gonna the Girls Gone Godless folks are going live tonight. And an astral projector's going on mess. Man, there's all kinds of great stuff coming on tonight. But who do we have now? Who's on now? Is Triple G on now? Are they on now? Let's take a look. Because if they are, let's go raid them. But if not, let's go raid somebody else while we wait for them to come on. Oops, sorry. You know who's on? Redheaded Trouble. Redheaded Trouble is live. Oh, she's a guest in somebody else's live. So, okay, it looks like it's going to have to be Tiny Science.
Dugald was on. I don't know if Dugald is still on, but he was. I'm not sure if he still is.
Dugald around. Okay, Dugald. So search Dugald in your search bar, and we're going to do a raid on Dugald. So let's do that. We'll do a TBV raid. All right, guys, you guys are fantastic. I do have to go. But I'll see you all tomorrow, okay? So have a great night.
Love you all.
Yes, and don't forget God's fiery glory hole. Good night.
God's fiery glory hole.
Night.